Hello everyone, and welcome to the ROC product update webinar. My name is Greta. I'm a product specialist at ROC, and today my colleague Nico and I will present you the new features which we just launched on ROC, and we hope you're excited. So we'll give you an overview of what's new, including features like the quick connect, Gifs, link previews, imports from CSV, and a couple of more new things on ROC. The webinar is going to be recorded, so we will take around 30 minutes, and at the end, we'll leave some time for your questions, which won't be recorded, so feel free to ask anything. And also, you can use the chat function anytime if any question pops up. So with that being said, let's get started with Nico introducing the Quick Connect feature.
Hello, everyone. For those that don't know me yet, my name is Nico. I'm a growth marketer at ROC, and we'll be walking you through the Quick Connect feature. So let me quickly switch screens to it. So for those that are not familiar with Quick Connect, it's the easiest way to start collaborating with anyone on ROC. If you don't know it yet, you can access the feature by clicking on your user image in the top left corner of your screen, then click on the Quick Connect icon, space new, or settings from there, but this is faster. And then here you will be in the Quick Connect panel. How Quick Connect works, in case you're not familiar with it yet, is you can share a link of your account anywhere on the internet, online or offline as well. And anyone that clicks on it will directly get a group space with you on ROC, and you can directly start collaborating, add anyone else to that group space, and just start sending messages, creating tasks, notes, or share files in that space. Quickly moving over to the different features you can see in the Quick Connect. In the top corner, you can see that you can turn it on or off. Disabling Quick Connect can be useful if by accident you send it in a source where you actually didn't want to send it to, or you're getting spammed for any reason with your link, but then you can quickly turn it on once you want to enable it again. The three dots allow you to reset your code. So let's say I shared it and someone else maliciously shared it on a forum or somewhere I don't want it. You can just reset your Quick Connect link, which all the group spaces that were created in the past with it will still exist. All your collaborations will still exist. It will just reset that link. So there will be a new link where people can connect with you. Now, one of the main new things that this product release has brought is that you can change your space.new link to any custom name. So let's say my name is Jacob and I'm working for Jacob Consulting, and you can just change this to Jacob Consulting, save it, make sure that nobody has taken it yet. And then anytime I share my link anywhere on the internet, it will just be space.new/Jacob Consulting. Why this is useful is, let's say you want to add it to a business card on your website, share your link on social media, you'll be able to customize the way people can start collaborating with you to a higher level, where the link will look as it comes from your company directly, and people already get an idea of, hey, who sent this link? What is this person about? What company is it, etc. This is part of the pros and teams plans. So you need to be the purchaser of the pro plan, or the purchaser of a teams plan, or a manager under the teams plan in order to access the feature. Once a link is taken, it's gone forever. So make sure to get your Quick Connect linked in time so you can start sharing it around with your network. Something that's available to both the free and paid plans is that you can now choose a template for your Quick Connect space. Let's say Jacob shares this on his website and wants to have users that have questions about anything or about his company connect with him and give support. Then he can just choose the customer support template space and add a welcome message to that, so that it's already customized to a certain extent how the space looks like when someone enters it. In the future, we're looking into making these templates further customizable, so that's something that you can look forward to as well. There's also a QR code link that you can add to any visuals that you might share. So let's say you want a visual on your website where people can collaborate with you, or you're sharing visuals on socials or other networks. It allows people to then just scan with their phone and open a space with you and collaborate within seconds. Wanted to quickly share an interesting use case for the Quick Connect. So let's move to my LinkedIn real quickly. Something you can do is you can, for example, put your Quick Connect link on your LinkedIn profile, so that, let's say someone visits it and they're interested in starting to collaborate with you, they want to learn more about your company, or they just are not familiar with the LinkedIn chat or don't use it that much, then they can also just connect with you on ROC, which will then create a space in your typical ROC workspace. You can add the link in the creator mode settings. So if you're interested, make sure to add one. This works both for a space new link that is customized, or the generic one if you're under the free plan. Some other interesting use cases include adding it to your email signature. So conversations are moved out of your email inbox quicker into Rock so you can make them more actionable. You can also add them to business cards or other communications of your company. This is most regarding the Quick Connect feature. Passing over to Greta, who's going to explain GIF previews, picture previews, GIFs, and some other interesting features.
All right, thank you, Nico. Just a second, I'll switch the screens. You can see that, right? Okay, so let's start with the link preview. So that's something new on Rock. So from now on, whenever we send a link and to a chat, you will get the preview of that link. So for example, if I send rock.so website, you will be able to see the visual cue of how this website looks like. So it can be anything. It can be an article or a video or a picture. So it gives you a brief preview, and it can be super handy whenever there are more than one link sent in the space. So if you want to quickly scroll through and see which links are worth clicking on, it will save you time. So you don't have to click on every single link, and you get straight a brief look what's in there. So that's basically on the link previews. Another new thing is GIFs. So GIFs are available in every space which has more than 3 members in there. So here actually on the right top corner, you can see how many members the space has, or if you go on settings, you can also check. So in this case, we have 5 members. That means that we have GIFs unlocked. And if you click right here, you will find the whole library, which contains thousands of GIFs. So if you, I don't know, for example, celebrating a birthday of your colleague, or just want to share some good vibes with your coworkers, you can scroll through, or if there is a specific occasion, as we said, the birthday, you can use a search function and you can find basically any topic you want. So as people say, sometimes one picture can express more than 100 words. So we hope you are gonna enjoy this new feature. Moving on, there's another new thing which is available on mobile only for now. So let me just switch my screens again. So I'll share my mobile screen. All right, so the new feature is Pinboard. So now you are allowed to pin any important information in a dedicated panel, which you can find here on top. So it's called a Pinboard. So you are basically able to pin messages, topics, tasks, and files. If you want to pin a message, you just have to press on a message like that and click on the pin icon. And if you want, for example, to pin a task, you go to tasks and then choose a task that you want to pin. And on the right top corner, you will also find the pin icon, so you can pin a task as well. So everything that you've pinned will be easily accessible here on this panel that I showed in the beginning. So you click on the Pinboard, and all these items that you've pinned will be displayed right here. And you also have an option to choose. So here at first you see all pinned items, and then you can browse through messages, tasks, or topics that have been pinned. So it basically allows you to you and everyone who is in that space to quickly check and access information. So you don't have to browse through the whole chat to find something important, or through the whole task board. You can make sure that everything is going to be under the Pinboard and easily accessible for everybody in the space. Okay, that's it on pinning. And there is one more thing that I would like to quickly show. And that is log out from all devices at once feature. So basically, if you go on your profile settings, you are you can basically use this option to log out from all devices by clicking on those three dots right here. And why it's useful is basically whenever you are unsure if you have logged out of any other device that maybe is not yours, this feature allows you to make sure that your profile is safe and you can disconnect from every device in one go, and that nobody is able to access your account. So that's about it from my side. Nico, would you like to continue?
Yes, the next feature we're going to explain is the import from CSV option. Let me quickly share screen to show you where you can access it. So import from CSV is a very useful feature to move over large amounts of data or projects that you have stored in a CSV, an Excel sheet, or in another database. It allows you to quickly convert that data into dedicated tasks with already filled in fields such as title, description, priority, and start and due dates. You can access the feature from two parts of your profile. So first, you can do it through user settings, click on settings, import, and then you see a custom CSV option. But you can also do it through the space where you want to add the tasks. So click on the three dots in the top right corner, custom CSV, and you'll see that the same panel opens up. The only difference being that the one from the space specifically doesn't have the drop down menu to choose a space because you're already importing them into that specific space. When you click on downloading the template, you'll get three files. One is a CSV file with all the different columns. The other one is an Excel file with a larger and a shorter version of that CSV file and a small technical description. I'll quickly show you what the CSV file looks like and how you can edit the different fields. Let's see, can everyone see my screen correctly? All right. So once you download the CSV file, this will actually be an empty sheet where ID, title, description, priority status, start due date, sprint, assignees, labels, and another labels are empty. So moving column by column, the ID is a unique identifier for the task that you are importing into the space, not to be confused with the task number. So the ID can be a number like this, but you can also call it dev1, dev2, etc., just to name them in a different way. The current sheet is made for a use case that is website development. So we're looking into creating a website. I have these different tasks that need to be done for it in my CSV and organized in these columns. So the idea is useful if, let's say in the future, I want to re-upload this sheet, but a few of the titles changed for existing IDs, or I have a broader description. What will happen is if the ID remains the same in my future upload, then it will overwrite the past one. So the task is updated with the new information I put in the title and description. If I keep it the same, then the information is not changed. Make sure to also remember that comments might disappear if you overwrite information in a task, as to a certain extent, a new task is created / updated. ID is a required field. So if you leave it empty in one of your imports, the import will break. At the same time, it's also important that each row contains information, as an empty row will also cause your CSV import to break. Title is pretty straightforward. It's the task title. Make sure the field is filled in as well, because if you don't, your import will break, as a title is a required field of every task you create. So something very important to highlight is for every task you're planning to import into ROC, ID and title both need to have information in every single row, or your import will break. Next field we have is description. So it's basically the description of the task you're adding in. Currently, it's a pretty basic functionality, where in the future we're still looking into adding other stuff to it, but currently just imports the text. Make sure to always check that if there's commas in your description, that the export quotes the different fields correctly, as if not, it will consider it a new column in your export, and then it might break your import from CSV. So always make sure that once you actually export the file, that's in quotation marks for every field that has a comma in it. Priority is the priority fields that you might see in ROC, which can be very high, high, normal, low, and lowest. There's two ways in which you can fill out this field, which is you can either assign a numerical value, such as -1, -2, 0, or 1 or 2, or you can just add a textual field in this, such as high, normal, or low, which is the equivalent of the rock name of that feature. You can change them up in the same list. You can, for example, have 0 here, high, and 2, and normal, and the import will still work. After that, you have status, which is the list where the task will be added. So for example, here I've done, in progress, to do, and done. Make sure to add a list to each one of the fields in your import. If you don't add one, it will be added to an empty field. So then you will have to manually change where the tasks are located in your import. You have task start and due date. Make sure to follow this organization of year, month, day. If you use a different one, it might break. So make sure to stay following that. Note that description, priority status, start date, due date, sprint, assignees, and labels are not required fields. So let's say one of my tasks doesn't have a start and due date. Feel free to leave it empty, as the information is not required for the CSV import to work. Next, you have a sprint. Note that the sprints are a pro and teams feature of Rock. So if you import CSV to a free space and there is sprints in them, you will not be able to edit this field. Sprints will also not have a start and due date automatically added to them. So after your import, you will have to manually add a start or due date to that information. Assignees is a field that currently doesn't work yet. So make sure to add the information. Any information you add to it will currently not be added anywhere. So make sure to not rely on it too much. We're still looking on adding information for the assignees fields in the future. So you can look forward to that in one of our upcoming releases. Labels is a recurring field, so you can add several columns for labels, and that will just lead to several labels being created in the import from CSV. So then you can already customize your labels further. To exemplify this in a space, let's move back to our rock space. We pick the template that I just showed you, upload it. You can add a custom label to it. So let's say there's already tasks in my space. I can just add the import from CSV label to it and import all the tasks. It can sometimes take a few seconds for the tasks to appear, but it says it's successfully imported, so you know that it worked. Something that might help for it to load faster is to just switch between the columns a little bit, or you can close the tasks mini app and open it up again, and you'll see that the different tasks have been imported into my space with the different due dates, the labels, the names, and you'll also see that there's descriptions to those tasks. If you would like to see this in your own time, there's another new interesting feature that I wanted to jump over to, which is we have a full-fledged help center now. So you can now find information, documentation, and other things about Rock in the dedicated help center. Switch between stuff like getting started, spaces, tasks, or as I just explained, the importing feature. So you can go to importing, select import from CSV, and read as much as you want about this feature in your own time if you want to further learn how the feature works. If you're missing any of these, any documentation or information, feel free to reach out to us in the Rock customer support space, and we'll look into adding documentation for it as soon as possible. Now, we also changed our blog, so we have a whole new resources section where you can read more about the Rock team, announcements, product updates, future of work content, and anything else you might be looking for. If you would like to guest post or you think you have interesting content for the blog, you're always welcome to reach out to me as well. Now, that's most for the new features under Rock. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them below right now.